Good morning, good morning. I'm Paul Tribble, the president of Christopher Newport University. And on behalf of this amazing class of 2019, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to these commencement exercises. This is a glorious day, and it's wonderful that we can have graduation on the great lawn before our magnificent Christopher Newport Hall. It's also a great time to be a captain. Our applications are exploding, the quality of our students is soaring, and we now stand in the ranks of the very best schools in America. You are a remarkable class, remarkable for your academic success, your leadership, and your active engagement in the life of this campus and the world. As individuals, you've excelled in our classrooms and laboratories. You have brought the Ferguson Center alive with your hard work and rich talent, and emerged victorious time and time again in athletic competition. You performed thousands of hours of community service, and hundreds of you have been involved in meaningful research and scholarly work. To all the members of this class, the class of 2019, we thank you for bringing this campus alive with your energy, your enthusiasm, your hard work, your good works, and your commitment to academic excellence. I hope you will tell us about your activities and your achievements. Your hard work and success will honor our university, and we will want to celebrate with you. Return to campus often. Homecoming is October 26th. Come and join us. Get involved in alumni activities. We now have 13 alumni chapters, so it's easy to stay in touch with your alma mater and your fellow captains. And finally, send us some more great students just like yourselves. I fervently hope that your time on this campus has enriched your minds and stirred your hearts. Christopher Newport is different and distinctive because we care about minds and hearts. Our purpose is to form good citizens and leaders. We want our students to lead lives of meaning and consequence and purpose. And as you well know, we call that a life of significance. On this Mother's Day weekend, I believe we should express special thanks to all the parents and grandparents who are here today, who have instructed and inspired and supported all of you through the years. So will all the parents and grandparents that are here today please stand so we can say thank you. Please stand. I also want to say thank you and express my profound gratitude to our remarkable faculty and our staff that sprints from early morning to late at night every day. They've contributed powerfully to your success and significance.
I realize that I'm expected to provide words of wisdom, or at least friendly advice, to encourage your success and continued success in life. But I'm keenly mindful of Lincoln's words at Gettysburg. Quote, "The world will little note and nor long remember what we say here." And in fact, I may not remember the words that were spoken, nor do I clearly remember who was the guest speaker at my graduation, but I remember who was at my college graduation. I remember who hugged me and congratulated me that day. It was my grandparents, my parents, and my friends, the thousands of you who have just stood. Their love and support was the most important thing in my life that day, and it is the most important thing in your life today. A year from now, or 50 years from now, when you think about this day, you too may not remember what we said here, but you will remember that your family and friends were here to celebrate and to congratulate you. In fact, your parents have supported you for the many years before you got here. They've supported you throughout the trials, tribulations, and triumphs that each of you have had for the past 4 years. They will continue to support and encourage you for as long as they are able. And they will continue to give you advice, whether you want it or you need it. My mother is 94, and I still get advice every day.
Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mrs. Suzanne Schubel. What we can see with our eyes does not determine the value of what is inside each person. We may look at an image of the impoverished, the broken, or the disabled person, but we forget that each one has a name. Each one has dreams of their own. Each one has light within them, just like us. The question I get asked most frequently is, how did I end up working in Ethiopia? When I was 11 years old, I went to my parents and told them that God had created me to help orphans in Ethiopia. I didn't know where Ethiopia was, other than it was a country in Africa, and I couldn't even show it on a map, but I was confident that I needed to go there. So for 5 years, I begged my parents to take me, and finally, at 17 years old, my dad found a mission trip going to Ethiopia. After that trip, my life would never be the same. I was amazed by the country, the culture, the people, but I also experienced incredible difficulty and suffering. I saw women dying of AIDS, children suffering from starvation, disabled orphans abandoned and abused. We visited hospitals, clinics, street children's projects, and schools, but out of all of them, what touched me the most was the orphanages. They were private institutions that took children with no homes, children with no families, abandoned and unwanted by everyone. But the walls were covered in cracked paint and the floors were covered in holes. The children had sad eyes and lonely faces, and they seemed hungry for food as well as love. The babies cried endlessly due to lack of nurturing. The staff were not warm and loving with the children, but harsh, demanding, and loud. I was overcome by their suffering, and I started to dream of a home for orphans that felt like a family. I started to dream of a place where orphans could be completely free, living in a clean and loving environment. When I looked at these abandoned, unwanted, special needs children, I realized that society was viewing them as something different, but that they were human beings just like us. We're oftentimes unaware of the suffering of our brothers and sisters, and that makes us limited, disabled, imperfect in so many ways. The world doesn't need any more stories of sorrow or misery. Regardless of our education or what we got a degree in, our most important job as we walk into the world ready to make a difference is to be the story of hope. Our job is to live our lives in such a way that we are the story of love, a story for others to read in the future and believe in humanity. Not every chapter will be perfect, not every chapter will be easy, but the story that we're writing each day should show integrity, relentless compassion, and people who saw brokenness and decided to use their light to mend the brokenhearted and brighten the whole world. In conclusion, I want to give my congratulations to the amazing graduating class today, and I want to thank President Tribble for the opportunity of speaking to you today. 20 years from now, I pray and wish and hope that we don't count the amount of dollars in our bank accounts, but the amount of lives that we've touched with our talents and our love. That we don't think about the job promotions that we received, but the helpless people that we promoted to new opportunities. That we don't consider the type of car that we drive, but the type of person that we've become. That we don't look at the size of the house we have, but the size of the impact that we've had on the world. The world will tell us to use our education to become more successful, powerful, respected, or wealthy. But I believe that the greatest happiness we can achieve is knowing our lives were lived to bring light and hope to every place we can see darkness. Every person has a hidden dream inside of them, and true happiness and content will be found when we live out these dreams to the fullest. So we must change our measurement of success, the way we view the path to happiness and achievement. We must adjust our journey to visit the most broken places in society and look within ourselves to find out what we have to make the world a better and brighter place. Thank you.
And now, the moment that you have been waiting for. Provost Dowdy, will you please come forward?
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Music please rise and remain standing? Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise and remain standing? Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science please rise and remain standing? Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty of Christopher Newport University, it is my pleasure to present to you these candidates for baccalaureate degrees. Each candidate has completed all requirements for his or her respective degree and has been approved by the faculty of the university to be graduated on this occasion.
By the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Board of Visitors of Christopher Newport University, I confer upon each of you the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto. New graduates, switch your tassel to the left side of the mortarboard. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the new graduates a round of applause. Again today, the readers of names is Dr. J. Paul and Dr. Jeffrey Klein. Dr. Paul is our most senior faculty member, carries the mace, and he's the Distinguished Director of the Honors Program and Professor of English. Dr. Klein is Vice Provost for Research, Graduate Studies, and Assessment. As the new graduates come forward to receive their diplomas, they'll be assisted with their hoods by Vice Provost Bob Colvin, Vice President Lisa Duncan Rains, and Deans Quentin Kidd, Lori Underwood, George Ebbs, and Nicole Guajardo. Our graduate students will be hooded for their program, for their graduation by their program coordinators, Drs. Jean Folletti, David Heddle, and Janet Stephen. As has been the tradition for 23 years, as our graduates walk down from the stage, they'll be congratulated by my wife, Rosemary, who will be assisted by Kenneth Kidd. Will the row marshals now bring forward the graduates for hooding and the receiving of degrees?
Gabrielle Marcellus, Service Distinction. Annalise Catherine Oberturf, Magna Cum Laude, President's Leadership Program, Alpha Chi. Ashley Pamela Nelson, Service Distinction. Brady Michael DeHoust, Summa Cum Laude, Honors Program, Alpha Chi, Omicron Delta Kappa. John Tyler McCormick, Magna Cum Laude, Alpha Chi. Michael Anthony Basse. Jamie Marie Harbour. Michael John Lamondola. Sarah Grace Miller, Honors Program. Chardonnay Rain Norris, Cum Laude. Mallory Page Stewart, Cum Laude. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the College of Natural and Behavioral Sciences, as soon as I have a sip. Jasmine Marie Baskerville. Michaela Noel Keith Burton. Cassidy Ray Canavan. Jordan Elizabeth Kramer. Zachary Alec Jamoki. Taylor Nicole Dilworth. Kendall Lindsay Michaels.